graduation day, and Waves Commander McAfee addresses the class.
Your real work in the Navy begins today. Remember that the men you release for combat duty at sea are relying on your reliability, accuracy, resourcefulness, and zeal on shore. The Navy and the nation count on you.
Communications. Every girl who takes a clerical job at a naval shore base frees a blue jacket for sea duty. Code, their first lesson. They'll learn things they'll be able to use later in civilian life. Soon these girls will be communicating with the whole world.
Sworn into the waves.
And they were all there with me a while.
Really?
And here I am, and I felt happy.
Yes. You remember this?
There is a wave from the family in the Navy.
This is, she worked for Admiral Burke, you know, and this is, I guess it's a little note from Admiral to her when Linda was born. Admiral Arleigh Burke.
Yeah, this was the gentleman that my mother, who's a retired wave, that's not here, but I'm here to provide her story, but she actually worked for him for a long time, and she highly respected him. He was a great guy. She was in Washington, D.C. at the Pentagon her entire career in the waves. Yeah, she worked for several admirals and also the Undersecretary of the Navy for Air. That was on the Navy.
There was no Air Force at that time.
She was basically an administrative assistant and private secretary to, I think I mentioned several different admirals, including Admiral Burke, Admiral Nimitz, and Admiral Thackeray, and also the Undersecretary of the Navy for Air, John Floberg. So she basically did everything. She had a very responsible job, and I think she was only like 2 levels below the president. Well, there was a lot of very confidential stuff that she was dealing with. So she, as she said, loose lips sink ships. So you can't, talk about this. But she did basically everything that, the admirals needed to be done. She was born in New Brunswick, grew up in Milltown, New Jersey, and she basically saw one of the recruiting posters for the Waves and immediately was enthusiastic and signed up and went off to training. She was very patriotic and very interested in a career.
Turn your around. So she's taking a sure. Margo.
U.S. Navy. A long time ago. History in my life.
Yeah. My mom is from northern New Mexico, Moore County, and she was raised on it's called La Cañada del Carro, which is up in the mountains of Moore County. So she really was not in a city or an urban environment. It was very, very rural, very mountainy. And most of their travel growing up was horse and buggy. Because one of her bane of her existence, she hated to have to go through town in a horse and cart in the back with her brothers and sisters. When she graduated, she decided to follow her sister who had already moved to California.
I think she joined the service then when she was in San Francisco, trained in San Diego, but also had an opportunity to travel to New York and Chicago for additional training. She was a hospital apprentice. I look at it now as a real experience for her to have the gumption and the courage to travel.
I tried clerking in the store, but that was not, there wasn't enough money coming in.
I don't know anything about this call on my bill.
While I was clerking, there are these 4-leaf clovers. I'm looking down, and I look at if I find a 4-leaf clover, then I am going to join the Navy. If I do not find one, then I am not. I found the 4-leaf clover every time, and I put them in my billfold, and I kept those the whole 4 years that I was in the Navy.
But I do remember my reasons for joining. I was a rebellious teenager, and my father was a conscientious objector, so I had reason to buck him by joining the Navy, and also all of us were coming from poverty-stricken backgrounds, so we were still coming out of the Great Depression.
What? No helping of potatoes? Bet she's on a diet. But she's not. Chocolate pudding for dessert. Think of the calories. But don't worry, it's proper food for a balanced diet in the Navy.
I liked the three square meals a day and the nice clothes. I was very much impressed with the idea that we needed to resist the Nazism that was very prevalent in Germany. And so I believed that this was a way that we could resist fascism. So I didn't wear the white one, but I wore the blue one.
It was dress up.
Oh, yeah.
Along with the Minnie Mouse shoes. And the bucket hats. We didn't have very much time to get the bed made, get dressed, get everything back in order, and stand out in front. They call it muster.
Pillows just so. And there are even regulations for folding a blanket. The Waves learn the Navy way of keeping house, and the Navy's household is always neat. Captain's inspection.
Good morning, Captain.
Anxious moments as the Commandant makes his rounds.
That was at Hunter College.
Margaret was at Hunter College for training as well.
Yeah, that was where I got my boots.
Linda's mother.
Yeah, that was where they had the wave training.
Load and lock. Safety dog. Commence firing.
My first duty station, I was a hospital corpsman. And first 3 months I worked on the surgical side, next 3 months medical, and then the next 6 months I was senior corpsman at the newborn nursery. And then after doing that for a year, I put in for physical therapy school. While I was at Bethesda, though, I met this guy who was going to lab school. He's also a corpsman, and our lives were kind of the same, except in different places. And he was a city boy, and I was a country girl. So we had a lot to learn from each other.
I was a mail clerk. That was when they had V-mail. I can remember one of the things that the Waves would say would be, well, no mail, and no M-A-L-E and no M-A-I-L. And the men would say, well, no V-mail, no female. So that was what we were responsible for, was the transmission of mail. The mail was very important during World War II.
These Waves formed very strong relationships because these were very interesting times. And this is a letter sent to Dorothy and 5 other Waves from a Wave that was transferred. They had to train and then get transferred to different places. February 24th, 1944. Dear Janie and Ora and Dorothy and Rose, golly, how I miss all you little chums. Doing things at home with only 2 others isn't nearly as much fun. Each one of you, be very grateful for being right where you are. Take it from me, you're lucky little kids. Don't think from all this that I'm not happy here. but it's just not Washington, and Washington's the top.
Well, I remember I was just a teenager and just out for a good time. And so the thing that impressed me the most was the marching songs. And I loved the marching songs. I memorized them all. They were satirical and funny, and I liked them. Blouses that they give us, they say are mighty fine, but I need Elsa Maxwell to fill the front of mine. Oh, I don't want no more of Navy life. Gee, Mom, I want to go home. As a matter of fact, I was very happy when the bombs were dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, because I was patriotic. Eventually, I came around to the realization that was a terrible thing, a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. But it took me a while. I've gone through a lot of changes in my life. I don't think that violence is going to solve any of our problems, and I'm now a member of Veterans for Peace, and I'm hoping that we can stop these wars and the killing that's going on all over the world that we're paying for and getting no benefit for. Raging grannies are any woman that wants to be part of them. We wear big skirts and big hats and write new words to old songs. Take me out of the war game. Take me out of the war. Buy me no nuclear missiles, Jack. I'll be glad if they never come back. Oh, it's boo, boo, boo for the bomb team. If they should win, we all lose. And it's one strike, we're out in the old bomb game.
Thank you. That's great.